Last time on Stronghold Crusader AI tournament, we had a long-running battle between the pig and the emir, and in the end, the commenters decided that the emir did win via superior AI strategy, in the sense that the emir was less dependent on wood and also gained the upper hand in the fighting. So anyway, that's all for now, and let's get right into the main event of the day. Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of the Stronghold Crusader AI Tournament. So this time, we are finally going to be moving on to the next step in the tournament, and that is, of course, going to be none other than Saladin against the Caliph. So let's switch their positions here just to keep traditional locations. Now I am a little bit sick, so if you hear me cough, that is definitely where that's coming from. So anyway, let us launch the game and really get into the action. Now, as for predictions, I think that Saladin has a bit of an advantage, but the Caliph does attack frequently, so it could be an interesting game. Okay, so here we have
your popularity is falling.
And there are some troops on it. Saladin is looking fine over here. Let's take a look at the opening order of merit. The Caliph is ahead, but of course the Caliph has been hiring some troops quite rapidly early on. And
we are under attack.
The Caliph seems to be moving to protect against my archers that are standing down here.
We await orders.
Unfortunately for the Caliph, things haven't gone too well for him as he's been attacking. Meanwhile, Saladin looks like he's going to be building a quite powerful castle, one that has outer bastions. We're going to see how that works out for him. The Caliph, meanwhile, standard rectangle,
is under attack.
And the swordsmen have actually broken out all the way into the keep and have done quite a bit of damage here. Meanwhile, the Caliph continues to stand here, attempting to shoot, but he's too far away. And there go the slaves, digging a nice moat for Saladin over here. Some early farms, of course. Let's take a look. There are some farms in the middle. In fact, both of them have put farms rather close to each other, so that might lead to some conflict in the future. They are still on their early wood.
People are
the Caliph has put an external wall, which definitely is going to help against the Saladin's forces when they attack. Because Saladin is known to actually use some assassins from time to time. Of course, the AI doesn't always use assassins in the most effective manner, but having that extra layer definitely helps against a potential attack from assassins. It looks like the Caliph is already sending out some slaves to protect these outer areas, and now they're actually going to attack Saladin's lads over here. This might provoke Saladin. We're going to see about that. Some horse archers are being sent out, but they're too far to actually have anything significant to do here. For some reason, they aren't lighting it on fire. In fact, what I'm seeing here is the AI is giving an order to attack and then immediately rescinding it. And there it goes, he actually followed through. And the fire has spread, and now the archers are all at risk. No second attack against me yet. Well, actually, technically speaking, no first attack. No actual direct attack. Saladin has taken this area under control. But he's not really concerned with enemy civilians, as there are still troops of mine to shoot.
People are leaving.
Now let's take a look at the order of merit. Neither of them has any significant wealth, and the number of troops is rather similar. So we could be looking at a long game here, but I think things are going to dynamically change once I get taken care of in the middle here. Saladin is building up a nice double layer wall. Very, very good. Now he has a gatehouse and is not susceptible to quick surprise attacks due to having a gatehouse, of course. Of course, the Caliph already had 2 gatehouses by this point in the game.
People are coming to the castle.
Saladin is getting those archers, shooting at me. Hit from the Caliph on the other side. They've actually done some damage by the looks of it. Now let's take a look at the position of the woodcutters. Okay, the Saladin is in the north here. And he hasn't fully transferred over yet, but there are quite a few woodcutters' huts here, so we can expect an area to get thoroughly deforested. The Caliph doesn't seem to have transferred much. Well, there's some transferage here, but he's eventually going to transfer fully. So we might see a game where we actually run out of wood, depending on how they go in the late game. Both players are after that nice Texas tea. No, I'm joking. It's not Texas tea. That's an old reference. An old reference. They're always looking for that pitch in order to lay out the pitch on the castles. And that, of course, is something to always be concerned with when you're attacking. Three quarries are in operation from Saladin, 2 from the Caliph. It looks like they are biding their time. Caliph is at 0 wealth and doesn't seem to be fluctuating here anywhere. Wait, never mind. That changed rapidly. Okay. For a moment I thought that there may be a problem, but it doesn't look like there is. So neither VAIs have become scuffed this game. No major problem here, so we should be expecting a fully functioning attack at some point. Of course, Saladin already has more troops than the Caliph. slaves are moving around here, dealing some damage. But nothing significant, nothing that is stopping this, nothing that's stopping Saladin's economy. Horse archers, looking nice. The Arabian horse. Now we're seeing the mangonels let loose. Saladin is definitely putting quite a bit of artillery out here this game. Look at that, 6 towers already, and we might be seeing a total of 8. Let's take a look. Slowly going down, but actually very slowly. And you can see apples being gathered.
You are the third greatest lord.
Let's take a look. Saladin is now the one that's lower on money, but up on troops. And also up in the order of merit. What could this mean? The archers are firing. And man, do you really need that many gallows, honestly? If you're going to hang people, how many people do you need to hang at the same time to need this many gallows? Honestly, that's just absurd. I know I'm joking around a bit. Oh, what's this? Swordsman. Could this be the end? I don't think it is, because swordsmen are engaging the archers. Wait, no, they're not even okay, but now they are. Where are they going to meet?
The Lord is under attack.
Horse archers have arrived on the scene. I've received some damage, but not a lot. With Saladin going that far up in troops, we may sooner or later actually see a big attack coming. And I'm actually taking quite a bit of damage here by the looks of it. So if a Caliph doesn't hop on it, Saladin's going to get that juicy 500. It looks like Saladin has now fully transferred over. Yes, he has. As has the Caliph, presumably.
A message from Saladin.
Oh, here it comes. So there it is. Saladin has actually gone ahead of the Caliph, which really surprises me. I think the Caliph usually attacks more frequently. Or maybe I could just be thinking about the raiding. But with Saladin jumping the gun here, wow, I think jumping the gun is perhaps an unfair way to put it. Getting ahead.
A message from the Caliph.
Oh.
Prepare to die, infidel.
Or maybe I was mistaken. The Caliph coming right after. Both of them were ready for action. And I think I know who's going to make it. There's fast assassins going in
Message
there.
from Saladin.
There it is.
The desert is no place for you. Go home, my friend. Go home.
And there we go, back home. Ah, I see. The mangonels are targeting these. And now we're going to see some raiding happen. There it is. There's some raiding right there. Now we're going to see the full brunt of these two giants up against each other. Interesting fact, at the time of the Crusades, the Caliphs weren't quite as powerful as they had been in previous centuries. And it looks like Saladin is going 2 for 2. I don't know if he's going to make it in the first attack, but it'll be interesting nonetheless. Let's take a look at the troop numbers. If I were the Caliph, I'd be worried. Saladin both has a monetary advantage and a numerical advantage troop-wise. This could become problematic for the Caliph. There they go, the cavalry archers moving about. Advancing strategically. They're trying to attack here, but they're also taking quite a bit more damage than they're dealing by the looks of it. The assassins have done their bit of damage. Has the Caliph replenished? I think that's what we'll find out right now. Not over here. Swordsmen are advancing. The Caliph's gates are closed. This is going to damage the Caliph's economy. Fire throwers are moving in now as well. I don't think they're going to make it, but it's the thought that counts, eh? Swordsman has dealt quite a bit of damage. One of them has reached the main walls. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to make it all the way. And it looks like, to the Caliph's disadvantage here, this tower has not yet been garrisoned, which means that the swordsmen on this side haven't been receiving as much fire as the ones on the other side. Meanwhile, Saladin has gone up in troop numbers despite having lost significant amounts in the attack. And it looks like they can't even reach this swordsman over here, unfortunately for the Caliph. Oh wait, now they can. But it's going to take some time to get rid of him. And now the catapults, the first, no, 2 catapults in fact, have made it all the way to the castle and have begun firing. Some of these towers have become damaged. The question is, how will things continue? That, unfortunately for the Caliph, the bad things are in the line of fire. Catapults continue to advance, but the gates will now open, presumably. There they are. Caliph now moves out some troops to rebuild to some extent. One of the towers has been taken down, although I don't think this one actually had any garrison on it. But the other towers are also juicy targets. Unfortunately for the Caliph, all these catapults are in the path of the slaves. So I guess that's a broken dream there. But 2 towers have been taken down and reduced to rubble, which means they aren't going to pose a significant threat in the next attack, which I believe won't be happening too long from now. Look at that wealth. Caliph is only at 50 troops. I think the Caliph's gates remain closed for quite a bit right there, reducing the Caliph's wealth significantly. But Saladin does not have enough firepower in his raids to really deal with all these archers. However, he does have quite a bit of money to pull out an army. Mangonels are of course operating at full speed. One of the camels has been killed. In fact, 2 have been so far. One over here. And the Caliph is having money problems. Well, not too bad money problems, though. Could be much worse. Imagine if the AI were programmed to repair towers. That would be something interesting to see, I think. A lot of slaves being sent out by the Caliph once more. Look at that bustling economy. That's where all that wealth is coming from here. Being shot down rather rapidly and prevented from reaching those quarries. Wow, look at that. All the trees down here gone. But if you look up here, look at that. Man, it took us 3 videos to get this far on the previous game. So we can see that Saladin definitely relies on wood. But if that is indeed the case, I think an important question to ask is, what happens to Saladin if he doesn't have any wood? Is Saladin able to kill the Caliph before running out of wood? And if they indeed do run out of wood, what will happen to the Caliph as well? There we go. Looks like the Caliph has taken possession of this area right here, but it is still contested with some swordsmen coming in, trying to deal with the Caliph, with the Caliph's archers. And I do believe that this is probably sufficient to do the job. There we have it.
let's take a look at troops. Saladin seems to be gearing up for another attack, although the order has not been given yet. The Caliph, on the other hand, also is building up quite a bit. And that will be vital when defending. Have quite a bit of troops here. I think on here there's a lot. Fortunately for these slaves, they ran right into the line of fire. But here it comes, the big attack. These swordsmen are preoccupied with taking down the smaller of two fish, if you ask me. Let's take a look here, down at 69, with Saladin at 200. I'm thinking at least 100 of which is composed of this attacking army here. And if that is the case, then the number of troops attacking the Caliph is greater than the number of troops the Caliph has, which is going to make it a bit difficult for the Caliph to defend. But here it goes. The big attack. Catapults and ballista are up, firing away. Cavalry archers are dealing quite a bit of damage. They're getting the pitch ignited, and look at that. Assassins have moved in, but they have become distracted. Where are they moving to? Looks like they've triggered the back burner. And there go the swordsmen. They've broken through already. Holy cannoli. I believe the tower got taken down here.
Stay away from my lands, infidel. Stay away.
And they've even reached the keep, of all places. Could this be the end? It doesn't look like Saladin has enough push here to finish it off, but nevertheless, this definitely took the wind out of the Caliph's sails. Let's take a look at the troop numbers. 22 right now from the Caliph, pretty low. Meanwhile, Saladin is still at over 100, quite a bit. And now the Caliph has come out of the castle to engage directly in combat. The fire throwers are advancing in. Does the Caliph have enough firepower to take them down? It looks like they're getting a bit caught up on the walls here. Oh, they made it! They lived just long enough. But the Caliph does have the capability to handle this fire. Things are not looking good for the Caliph here. Why did I even doubt Saladin could do this? Why did I even doubt it? Of course Saladin can do this. He's one of the best AIs in the game. Take a look at wealth. Look at that. The wise indeed with that kind of wealth could make Dave Ramsey go. Look, The Caliph still has the marketplace. Which, of course, is very important. And also still has the mercenary post. But there are plenty of catapults advancing and shooting at the castle. They haven't targeted this tower yet, but once they do, that's just one more place the Caliph has lost the ability to fire from. Let's see. Saladin isn't getting up any catapults right now, but I think the next attack should do it. Oh, and look at that array! Could this be the... no. If these raids keep going, that may very well be what finishes the Caliph off. So making sure to destroy every single bit of the Caliph's castle. Trying to hit these tiny bits here. Looks like the Caliph has liquidated some assets, but it's not going to help if you don't have a place to sell your goods. Let's take a look at the wood situation. Look at that. Deforestation. Lovely. Oh, and it looks like the attack is over for now. But it's going to continue right away. Haha. Sorry about that. Just had to give it a nice cough of appreciation. Maybe that's an interesting way to spin being sick. I mean, just this last Monday, I was coughing up some blood. And that was definitely not a pleasant experience. And look at that, there he goes. He's outside of the castle. Bet the assassins are moving in as we speak. Hidden. I was gonna say hidden by something, but I can't really think of anything that they can actually be hidden by. If we're looking at this. And it's broad daylight in the desert.
A message from the Caliph.
Not much place to hide.
Stay away!
Couple of swordsmen up here protecting the Caliph. But if these swordsmen hit the Caliph when he's down here, that could mean the end. And it wasn't the end. But here come the assassins. They haven't decided to go up to the Caliph. More swordsmen coming in. There's only one swordsman left up here, so if these guys get up there, the Caliph is dead. And there he is, he's gone. We actually finished a game, yes. There we have it, Saladin the Wise wins. So let's take a look at the stats. You don't often get to do this because not every game is decided within a decent amount of time. So anyway, troops killed. Saladin actually killed more troops than the Caliph, despite the fact that Saladin was offensive throughout most of the game. Saladin lost less troops, of course, in contrast to that, and definitely had read the total money makeover, if you ask me. And look at that! That's what I call a feast. And wood, stone, metal. Caliph, though, can't be topped on the pitch, going even so far as the other side of the center of the map just to get more pitch. And of course, Saladin producing some weapons. The Caliph did not get that high in the population. Saladin going a full 50 above the Caliph. And of course, they were quite opposite on fear factor. Saladin doing all the destroying. The Caliph losing quite a bit there. And interestingly, they actually produced almost the exact same number of troops throughout the game. In fact, the Caliph is up by 2. So there you have it. There you have it. Saladin beats the Caliph. And next up, we will have the Marshal against the Lionheart. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed. If you have anything to say, anything to add to the conversation, please do so in the comments section below, and I will be seeing you all next time on Awiltos. Over and out.